Hey, everybody, thanks for watching this week's episode. We want to promote where you can see us. For tickets, go to joegattoofficial.com to see all my tour dates. And for Steve's, go to punchup.live/Steve-Byrne. That's Byrne. He makes it super easy to find him. And now, on to the episode.
There was a problem, yo, I saw. Word to your mother.
All right, here we go again. I hope you're ready. Buckle up, baby, because it's another brand new episode of Two Cool Moms. I am Joe Gatto.
I'm not Joe Coy. I'm Steve Byrne.
Do you get coy a lot? Thanks
No.
for listening to Two Cool Moms. We're very excited to be here today. Big day for me and Stevie.
Big day.
Big day.
Massive.
Huge day.
This
We're
is
here.
our Super Bowl.
This is it. We're here in Nashville,
Yes.
and I've come to Stevie's hometown.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's got hometown advantage. We're in front of a fireplace here.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And thank you for having me in your lovely town, Steve.
Of course. Why is it such a big day?
Because
We built it up.
Because I came to you. And this has happened maybe 4 times in the whole time that we've been doing Two Cool Moms. So over 90
Yeah.
episodes. Most of them are filmed in New York, but
Yeah, I think we
sometimes
did 2 live in Nashville a while ago.
we did a couple of live ones in Nashville at the Zanies Comedy Club. Then we also recorded a couple in the Zanies place.
That's right.
And we've never done recently here, but I'm very excited to be here in Nashville. So, tell me your top 5 favorite spots.
Top 5 favorite spots
No, that's boring.
in Nashville?
I had a very interesting thing happen with my son.
Okay.
I had a couple of shows canceled because of weather. I was able to go home for a weekend. I was able to catch them play basketball.
Very nice.
So my son, unfortunately, athleticism comes from his father.
The mathlete.
The mathlete, yes.
Yes.
So he was, the first half of the game, they do like a practice and then a game. He's 7, so it's
Okay.
not really a thing. So they do the half-hour practice and then a half-hour game. And the first half hour, he was just in tears at the foul line, reaching to me as if I could save him, like he was sinking in the Titanic. Like that.
It was in quicksand.
And I was like, buddy, I was just
Yeah.
like clapping him, trying to give him all the love, okay? Then they start the game and he's not first string, surprise.
Right.
And they put him in the second string and he goes in and he just starts crying. And he's
While
just
he's playing?
while he's playing, but he's playing. So he's dribbling and crying and he's like guarding people and crying. And then he shoots the ball and by the grace of baby Jesus, it goes in. And he turns
clouds
in.
part.
Oh, he turned into LeBron. He was like boxing out. He started dancing. He was flipping up. He was waving to me. I was like, oh, that's all it took. It was super easy. And I think that's a really cool moment as a parent, but it came right after the most uncomfortable and I think worse that I've felt as a parent, knowing that they'll get to that part where he'll be into it.
Sure,
but it was like
yeah.
one of the first times I was like, oh, he's got to get there on his own. And you're not able to like swoop in and help them. It was really...
You can only do so much, right?
Yeah.
You can only do so much. But it's interesting. It's like once the kids get there,
Yep.
no matter what, like my son's the same thing. It's just like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And then you get there. It's like there's always that pivot moment where it's like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
And then they're off to the races.
It's so fun to see these little moments because my son's at 7 and you're really seeing, I think this is his 6-month year period where I'm going to see a lot of things. We're just at the ocean, Turks and Caicos, he
Right.
gets walloped by a wave. And I'm like, that's it. We got to go out of the water. We're going to sit down. He popped up, went awesome, and ran back in. And I was like, who the hell's kid is that? Did you hit your head on a rock? Like, what happened? Did you hit a conch shell?
Cowabunga,
I
baby.
know. He was like, let's do it, dude. And I'm like, what? He's hanging 10. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I said to Bessie, I was like, did you just see that? She was like, I can't believe it. And he was like in the ocean. And I was like, wow, this is pretty. He's becoming like a real boy, like a Pinocchio. Like he's like really like
Cut
doing
the
these kind of
strings.
things. He's really just like jumping off stuff and climbing. Like it's really interesting to see because he was so reserved, you know?
You can see, especially your son, he's very, there's kids you meet, you're just like, this is a smart kid.
Yeah.
He's very introspective. And again, that day we were hanging out, he's doing math problems with a professor
At the
of a
college.
university.
Yeah.
It's like, that's fascinating stuff. And like, most kids wouldn't be doing that. And I was just like, wow, this kid, he's going to be to go JPL or he's going to be at MIT or something. Like,
For sure.
you could just tell, Brainiac.
But it's just really cool to see that part of it. And then I was trying to think back of like my sports moments, which are very few and far between.
And that's all the time we have today.
I don't know how long you want me to go. I mean, because I could tell you.
What was your greatest athletic sports moment?
Oh,
You had to have had one.
8th grade. Our star player, Francesco Di Francesco, fouls out, right? So now
Francisco.
his name was Frankie D. Francesco Di Francesco.
Great name.
Fouls out. 5th foul. They go to their 6th man. Joe, get in here. I get in there. Okay, I'm playing point guard. Here I go, point guard. We're down by 2.
Yeah.
Okay. No, we're down by 1. I get fouled.
Yeah.
Okay. It's 1-1. 1 second on the clock.
Yeah.
So the first one, swoosh. In. Okay.
This is your Al Bundy moment. Poke high.
No,
Here we go.
I wish that's what happened. What
No, it
happened
didn't
was
go in?
I threw it so hard because I was so nervous that it hit the rafters of the gym.
Wait, what?
I overshot it so bad that I hit the ceiling of the gym. That's how nervous I was. And we lost. That was
Are you
it.
serious?
Yeah. Fast forward.
Yeah.
A couple games later in the season, same deal. I was a 6-man in. Frankie D comes in too hard. He fouls out. 3 minutes left in the game. I score, make us lead by 1. But then the game runs out. And it wasn't like a at the moment thing. Nobody else scored. So we ended up winning the game on my shot that happened 2 minutes earlier, And I get picked up on the shoulder. I didn't even realize what would happen. The kids are picking me on the shoulder. Everybody's going nuts. It is the one game that both of my parents didn't come to.
No.
One of my parents would always come, but my sisters, who both were good athletes, my sister Gina was a badass high school player.
Right.
She had her championship game. My dad went to watch her. My mom went to watch my sister cheerlead because my sister was a cheerleader. And they're like, he's not going to do anything. He never does. And of course, my mom, I remember it like it was yesterday. No. My mom walked into the gymnasium as I was on the shoulders of the kids and everybody's going, Gatto! And she just dropped her keys and her face turned white. And she was like, what did I miss?
Well, she saw that.
She saw that, like she saw the aftermath of like it happened. She didn't see the moment. She walked in literally as they like put me down, and I ran over and I hugged her, and I was like, I won the game, and she just started crying because she felt so bad.
Aw, dude, what a great
Never
memory.
happened again. She died. That was it. That was her moment. She lost
Jesus,
it. That's it. She lost it. She effed up. She went to see my sister go, okay, ready? Okay. R-O-W-D-I-E. That's the way we spell rowdy. That's what she's saying. And her boy's sinking deuces over there.
That is so funny.
Yeah, so it was crazy. That was probably one of the most insane moments of like, I think from a parent point of view too, my mom was like, what are the chances this kid wins the game?
Yeah. But you've had many, many victory laps at a roulette table.
A roulette table, craps table, a bowling alley,
What was your best, what's the highest you ever bowled?
288.
Are you kidding me?
300, yeah.
Wait, 300 is a perfect.
300, yeah. It was a complete fluke in high school, yeah. In high school, I was just in the zone.
That's like pro.
I was turkeying it up. Gobble, 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 gobble. I was just hitting them up, lining them up, knocking them down. It's kind of annoying too because I had like the open frame like in the beginning, and then I like struck out all the way to the end. So I was like, oh man, if I didn't mess up in the beginning, I just found my groove though.
Wow.
That was I had never bowled over to, I don't think like a 210 after that or whatever, but that was like a fluke that I had one game. It was killer. And then, my average in high school was 180, 190 around there.
Wow, but to get up to 288, that's pretty
it was nuts.
impressive.
I remember that. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
My daughter just went on her first date.
Time out. Beep, beep. Back her up. Back her up, Papa. Hit me with it. Oh my God, she went on her first date?
7th grade.
Nice.
First date.
Bowling date?
No, here's the thing. Jump park.
Oh, nice.
By the way, my wife said she wants to go to bounce house. I'm like, don't say that. It's a jump park. So my daughter said, can I go to this jump park and meet this boy I like on a date? And then
just the two of them.
Well, here's what she said. She goes, Mom, you could sit there and hang out. And then even if Kent wants to come, Kent can come. And so she was at dinner.
So sweet.
And she's like, Kent, would you want to go? And Kent was like, well, I should probably go there just to look out. And I was like, wow, that was cool. So it was nice to see like my daughter felt secure, right? She wasn't like inhibited or nervous or felt embarrassed by it. She was very forthcoming to say, is it okay if I go on a date? You can be there. And she invited my son, which
includes a boy. That's great.
That includes the son.
That's
and then the son
volumes. And
says,
then your boy,
I'd like to be there to look out for you. It was like, wow.
You're doing something
like
right, Stevie. You're doing something right. That's great.
That's all Jess. That's all Jess.
That's what I meant by you. I had to say you because you're here, but Jess, good work, Jess, because he's shit. But good job. Thank God they have you, Jess.
And then obviously you just, I was like, what's his name?
Yeah, of course.
And then she said the boy's name. And I was like, okay, he's definitely white, so that's good.
You idiot. Oh, you idiot.
What? Oh, you got to keep that.
I've got to keep it in.
She wants to meet Demervius. Okay, I'll be there now too.
You said it. I didn't say it. So did you? So were you? Did you know the boy? Did you know who he was?
Yeah, I hang out with boys. Yeah, I'm Kevin Spacey.
The
How
Asian
would I
version.
know?
Yeah.
How would I know a 13-year-old boy?
I don't know. Do you know the schools that she goes to?
Hi, I'm a youth pastor with a shady past.
I mean, we're just chopping minutes out at this point. I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
I don't know the boy.
So you don't know who he is? Okay.
No.
So did you want to know what he looks like? Did you like go on Facebook?
I just want to know what race he was.
That's it. That's all you need
As
to
a
know.
father.
As a dad.
Yeah.
You need
no,
to know.
no, I'm
Yes.
totally. I kind of. No, I look. It's that puppy love age. It's like it's fine. Yeah,
sure.
it's cute and it's sweet.
So what were they? Was he just going to meet her and they were going to jump around the park together, just the two of them, or was it a group of friends? It was a one-on-one.
It was just one-on-one, but then my son was there. He brought a friend. My wife was there.
Yeah, so it
So
ended up being a
and it's like a huge like.
Yeah.
It's not like there's anywhere to go off.
No.
and,
Yeah, it's like a park, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so did she have fun?
She had fun. I guess she likes the kid.
Did she talk to you about this stuff? Like, did she? Or she talked to Jess, or
She talks to Jess. I've let her know. Like I try to lay the groundwork. I've told my kids this their whole lives, and I told my daughters. I said, "There's going to come a point in your life where you don't want to talk to me. There's going to come a point in your life where you don't even want to be around me. But even when that happens, I'm letting you know I'll always be here for you.
That's great.
And I want you to be honest with me.
Yeah.
And no matter how bad a situation is, if you're honest with me, you'll never be in trouble. So just tell me the truth from the beginning." So those are like the two things I
That's
try
nice.
to tell them as they
That's
go
important.
forward. But yeah.
I heard a great thing: be a gotta dad, not a don't. And it's
Be a what?
A gotta dad, not a don't. When your kid's in trouble, you don't want them to say, "Don't call my father." You want to say, "I gotta call my father."
Right.
I love that. That stuck with me.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a good
Well, that's
one.
going to stick with me.
Yeah, it's a good one. I
like
gotta
that one.
call my dad. You want to be that when they're in the biggest trouble they need, they want to call you. Not I can't
Yeah.
call my father. Like if they find out, they'll kill me. Like you don't want that.
It's even like when she said she's going on a date, I'm like, well, she's in 7th grade. I guess this is when it starts. And I asked my wife, I was like, when did you go on a first date? She's like 7th grade. I'm like, you slut.
Yeah. What was his name?
Yeah. But she's like, how about you? I was like, I graduated high school
And then on a date.
and went on my first
Oh
date.
wow, yeah. My first double date I went on was in 8th grade. I went to the movies, and I did the whole
Yeah,
yawn
but you
trick.
were very confident. Is that fair to
Not
say?
8th grade. No,
No?
super geeky. No, I was terrible. I did a whole yawn thing. It was a group date. She
Yeah.
like called her mom to take her home. Like, and I was sitting there with all the other dates. Everybody was making out in the arcade, and I was like, I'm gonna play Pac-Man. Yeah, I
bowled 288.
Yeah, I bowled 288. Yeah, I was actually at a bowling alley. That's funny. Showplace Entertainment in Staten Island. But I never. I went. I think that was. I would consider that probably my first date in 8th grade. But it was a double. It was a double date. Like just it was a bunch of people together.
Right.
Yeah. But 7th grade seems about the right time, especially nowadays.
That's probably, yeah.
Yeah. My daughter's going to have her Valentine's dance. So that's going to be interesting. But it's like a group thing. All these
But
girls.
she's
are going together.
4th?
She's in 4th grade. Yeah.
4th grade,
Yeah,
okay.
so it's the 4th and 5th graders of the school, and it's just basically it's a 2-hour thing, you know. Then they ask for parents to chaperone,
Yeah.
and I looked at Bessie. I said, "Do I chaperone?" She goes, "You can't. You'll be such a distraction at the school."
Yeah.
She's like, "You can't." I said, "Well, you have to then." And she's like, "I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do that." She's like, she's an introvert totally. She's like, "I don't want to do that. I don't want to be responsible." So one of the moms that we know, a couple of the moms that we know that we're close with their kids,
Right.
a couple of them signed up. So we're like, "Okay, do us a favor, just let us know if you see anything."
Yeah. Well, you know what's interesting though is that 7th grade, I remember my friend Matt Kirshner,
Yeah.
who was like, I was joined at the hip with this guy. 7th grade, I went to his house. This is the first experience I had with alcohol and a friend. He drank like wild turkey. He's like, why don't you try this? And I remember smelling like, this is disgusting. And I tried it. And then he chased me around his house with a kitchen knife, pretending to kill me. And I'd never been more frightened in my life. And I was like, 7th grade, alcohol.
He chased you around with a kitchen knife.
With a kitchen knife. Yeah. He got hammered. And I ran out of his house and I ran down the street to my other friend, Brian Doherty's house, and I asked to call my mom to pick me up.
That's insanity.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's wild, Turkey.
I was a chicken.
Well, there's your title.
Yeah. Wild turkey. But I was thinking, boy, that was 7th grade. And then I was like, oh my God, I should talk to my daughter. And that was another thing I talked to her. I pulled her aside after dinner. I said, I know you're going on this date. I also want to tell you, this is an age where kids are going to expose you to things, and I can't make the decision for you. I can only tell you what is the right thing and the wrong thing to do. So I hope in these situations you make the right decision. But know this, I'll always be here for you. You can call me, right? But it's not a smart thing to indulge in these things at that age, okay? And there's kids that are going to indulge and they're going to expose you to things and say it's okay and it's kind of fun or whatever. And they're not. They're not. So I'm trying to, she's going to learn her own mistakes.
100%, yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's kind of crazy you have to have that talk in 7th grade now.
7th grade, though. But then that's when I remember my friends were going, I was scared of alcohol.
Checking the liquor cabinets, yeah.
Going in the woods, drinking Coors Light, beer skunked, didn't matter.
Yep.
Getting popped up. I don't know. I was always scared of it when I was a kid. And then
you conquered that fear, buddy. You're like a superhero now.
Thank you for being a friend.
Let's do it. You tell your daughter, like, listen, if you're gonna go drinking, call me because I want to come. Yeah, I think that's interesting. You worry about that stuff. I always said my parents didn't really lay guilt. It was kind of really interesting how they did it because I was always worried about the words "I'm disappointed in you," and like to feel that. And my parents barely said it to me, but they did a great job of instilling that in me.
Right.
Which I still don't know how to say. That's one of the biggest things I wish about that I could talk to them about as a parent. Like if I think about like what I would learn from them, I wish I could garner how they made me be good by fearing disappointing them without ever making me feel like I disappointed them. Like it was such a magic trick they pulled off,
But it's something. It's funny you mention that because it's something like even with me and my kids, like I think it's more impactful to be in a situation where your child messes up and you sit them down, you explain why, and then you leave them with I'm so disappointed in you.
Yeah.
And you walk away. That is, I believe, more impactful than get to your room.
100%.
Because it's so emotionally
no TV
crippling.
for 3 weeks. Yeah.
I'd rather do I disappointed in you than go to your room.
I agree. I don't think I trying to like rack my brain right now and think about if there was a time where that even happened. And I remember one time that I punished myself because I was out sick from school and I didn't study for this exam and I ended up getting a 65, which is still passing, but it was like the worst grade in the world for me. I was in 7th grade.
Right.
I got a 65 and I went home. I was beside myself. I was like, my mom was like, she's like, what's the matter? I was like, I messed up. I'm so bad. I hung it on the refrigerator to remind me how bad it was. And then I went upstairs and I disconnected my Nintendo and I put it away and I punished myself. I was like, you can't play Nintendo. You
punished yourself?
Yeah. So my father came home. He had the 65 in his hand and he looked at me and I was in my room and I was like beside myself. And he's like, what's the matter with you? He's like, it's one test. He crumpled it up. He said, it doesn't matter. And then it was like that. And I was like, wow. But like, he had the opportunity to like it's as if it's as if he said you're disappointing you because grades were super important to my parents, especially
because
my parents.
Knowing how you were reacting, 100%. He's like, I
already did it.
Fine.
It's already fine. Yeah,
I don't need to talk. There was only one time my kid ever said I'm disappointed in you, and it hurt.
That's bad.
That hurt. Wow. She said I just saw your last special,
and I directed it.
Yeah,
damn it.
So disappointed in you.
We're so sorry. She's like, you put me in it.
She said, I'd like this off my IMDb.
She's like, comes home crying down. How's your date? He saw your special. Terrible.
All right, let me, shall we get into this?
Let's get into it. Let's have some.
Let's help the peoples, right? That's why we're here.
Thanks so much for listening to our wonderful podcast. We're having so much fun doing. Two Cool Moms. And if you want to submit a question, it's at Two Cool Moms Pod, or you could go to the Gmails, and it's at twocoolmomspod@gmail.com.
That's right.
There we go.
All right, this is coming to us from Phoebe. Phoebe, thank you for the question. I was surprised at my Spotify Wrapped from 2024. Do you have any surprising music or artists that made your top listens this year? I'll tell you, I went down a Red Clay Strays rabbit hole.
When we had them as guests.
Obviously, I knew them before.
Yep.
And then haven't seen them and hanging out with, but I really went down like a deep dive on them and I really came to appreciate them. You know who I discovered recently that was always on the radio when we were kids? Bruce Hornsby and The Range. Okay. And I was like, there was a song that came up and then another one was recommended. I was like, I know 2 of his songs. Let me go down a deep dive. I took a deep dive and he just came up with an album like 2 or 3 years ago. And I was like, this is amazing. And just giving myself the moment to be exposed to him, it was awesome. He did a lot of collaborations, and that was a surprising one for me. And then I saw a documentary on yacht rock. And then
That's enough.
No, but yeah, right. I Spotified all the Christopher Cross and the Kenny Loggins and Michael McDonald and all those like great.
What is the number
songs.
one yacht rock song? It's got to be "Sail Away," right? Come sail away, come sail away with me.
That's a rock song. You're thinking,
you don't think that's yacht rock?
Sailing, take me away, where I'm going.
And then they hit the iceberg.
And then they hit the iceberg. That should have been a Titanic song, yeah.
That would have been a great song.
You don't like yacht rock?
Titanic. I like yacht rock. Yeah, I mean, you're
Okay.
talking to a guy who had multiple cruises. We love the yacht rock.
Of course.
Yeah, we love the yacht rock. Yacht rock's fun. I love a good, yacht rock, for me, different experience because yacht rock isn't much dancing. It's more like singing and swaying. And when my body gets music in it, it wants to move, baby. So like I get enough of it. I kind of get bored, to be honest. Like I can't take a yacht rock concert. You dabble, you dibble, you put it in there a little bit. I'm okaysies with it. But once you're really getting into the yacht, I need more rocking of this boat. And don't come a knocking if this boat's a rocking. That's really the way it goes for me.
It's your chlorophyll. You
It
need
is.
that. That's your
Yeah.
son.
Like after like a couple, it's like, okay, and now like I want to start moving my body a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, no. But I will say for my Wrapped, I don't know. I really went down when I saw AJR Brothers live, when I saw AJR, I literally went back to like all their catalogs and me and my daughter were listening to all their songs and really discovered a lot of their, I bought a lot of their vinyl. I bought every album they put out on vinyl and I just really liked a lot of their stuff. And it started with a couple songs and
Right.
now I'm a fan of albums of
You're a big
theirs.
top 40 guy.
Yeah.
Like very mainstream pop heavy, pop centric.
I do like
Yesteryear
pop.
and today, current.
Yes, I do find that I am in the pop eclectic of people, but
Yeah.
I do dabble in like a Motown. I love like old school
Sure,
kind of.
yeah.
So when it goes to old school, it's like American Standards and like Motown are my two biggest where I'll go into stuff.
Right.
But as far as like, because AJR really is, I mean, they have a couple songs that were on the radio, but I enjoyed.
Did they do
even
that
their
I'm
other
Ready,
ones
the
that
SpongeBob song? You know what I'm talking about? I'm ready. And then they had a SpongeBob sample.
Oh,
in
a sample in it?
Is that
Possibly.
okay?
I don't know
I'm
that
almost
one.
certain
but-
it's that's the
okay.
one song I know by them. But
Probably sure. Yeah, they do. They do "Bang Bang Bang" with this subway conductor in New York. Please stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Yeah.
They got him to actually
Oh,
sing on
really?
the record. Yeah, say "Here we go," and that's in the song. It's really fun. But I think like for as far as like I listen to the radio to find music. I don't.
But are there
really-
any surprises you've had, like any deep dives that you've taken this year on somebody or an artist that kind of shocked you?
I would say no.
No.
I would
So
say
it's just
I
through the
will
radio.
Yeah, through the radio. But I will say a lot of times our good friend Jiggy, Mark Jagarjian, our producer on this, he will be like, "Oh, you got to listen," and the songs he'll pick are like old school. They're still poppy, but I've never heard them. Like
Right,
he's got
right.
a catalog of just.
He busted out Donny Osmond the other day on me, and I'm like, wait, Soldier of Love? Really? And then
Yeah.
I listened, I'm like, well, that's
he's
pretty
got a-
awesome.
I have a couple friends that are like, and you're one of those who have like these. Just that's the way their brain works. They use music as their thing. Like you, Sal, Mark. They all Justin. Justin being a
Especially
DJ,
Justin.
especially Justin. He's, works in music. But
Any mood.
It's just like really, he's somebody. I wish that's a gift I had.
Yeah.
I'll just say, put some music on, and he will 10 out of 10 times nail it. Whatever
he's
it
room
is,
temperature. He knows
just
exactly-
Dude, he's a
Too cool?
thermostat.
Too hot?
He's
Yeah.
a thermostat. That guy.
Yeah.
He's right up in there, setting it. What do you need at 69? Let's turn this to a 72. Let's warm it up here a little bit. A little too hot. We'll knock her down to a 68.
down, yeah.
You know what? Turn the fan from auto. We're gonna go medium blow. Like he knows these things. Like
Yeah.
it really is interesting because he comes on the road and does the green room stuff, and when we're driving and whatnot, he's just great to have like a DJ friend that just gets it.
There's a science to it.
Yeah, but what I really like about him now is that he produces music, and I'm able to he made an original mix to end my hour now. So I used to
Right.
close whatever, and now every night I hear the song when I close. It's the song that he made for me, and it's like it's fun. So,
But even like Benson Boone, right? That's somebody
Yeah.
you discover through
Brand new.
iHeart, I assume. But
Yes.
my daughter went to the show, got the sweatshirt, wears it every 3 days to school, the same sweatshirt. I'm like, Livy, let me wash it. And then to know like you're friends with the guy, like you're just like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
at dinner with Benson Boone. It's like, of course you are, because you're Joe Gatto. That's pretty awesome.
yeah,
but
but,
it's,
he's somebody I saw live, and I was like, this kid has got it. He's
That's an
unbelievable.
entertainer.
That is somebody. That's a rock star. That's
Yeah.
legit a rock. Like he put on a show, and also could sing like a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He's got the chops for it. You know what I'm saying? He's not all razzle dazzle. He's got some pizzazzle in there. You know what I mean? So he's like really got it. And he's like, I talked to him about some of his music. I got to see him, which was so cool. So with the iHeart thing, I got to be able to do all the jingle balls, which was fun. And they do this thing, the Capital One Acoustic Lounge, where they pick a couple fans to come up and one artist will come do a couple songs.
Yeah.
And he played acoustic, a couple songs, and he played this song that he had written about his mother. And I was like, it was such a really cool, moving moment just to see that so stripped and raw. And you see that, and then you fast forward to you see him with the pyrotechnics going off. He's flipping off the piano, and just to see that he's able to hold both hands steadily, it's like, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's interesting because some of the music I get exposed to is through my children now.
Of course.
And my daughter plays, again, him nonstop in the car. So I'm exposed to it, and the first few times there's a begrudging, like, I want to listen to my stuff, and then you listen to your kid's stuff, and I'm like, there's a theatricality to his music, and obviously he's got a great voice, but you hear it, it's almost kind of like Elton John-esque, where there's like a production behind it,
100%.
where there's a real resonant story behind it as well. But he's got a great voice, and then my wife, she's 42, and she comes back from this concert, and I was like, how was it? She's like, amazing. Yeah. Amazing. She's like, that guy's an entertainer.
100%,
on top of, obviously, you're going there for the music. So
talent.
It's pretty wild to cross paths as you have.
For sure. Yeah, I would say that seeing him, like when you get to, it's a different level, right? When you get to know a person, on top of it, like Colby Clay or, like Benson, and like you just actually have dinner with them. Yeah. And talk with them, and you're just not even talking about anything. You're not talking about music. You're not talking about comedy. You're just talking. And then you're like, oh, I realized. Like I played cards with him. We were playing cards and like hanging out. It was like, so fun. Such a nice guy. And he just was instantly like, you're like, oh, this is somebody I could be friends with.
Right.
And you both feel and just turn that way. I'm big on that because I know how fickle life is. And you got to grab somebody. If you enjoy spending time with somebody, like I'll put the time in. I'll reach out, say hello, how you been, kind of thing. Send video. Like we send videos back and forth, kidding around. Like he was at the Grammys, I wished him luck. Like things like that and stuff. We were exchanging texts and things. But that's the kind of thing, just let people know you got to nurture those things.
You are great at that.
Yeah, I try.
By the way, the
oh my God,
the Chinese antique you sent me. Can I tell you about what happened with that thing? So it comes to me. You let me in on it. I'm ha. Okay, it's creepy. It's in my office. So I brought it out and had the doll set up at the dining room table, and I was just had it out there, and I was like, Jess, you'll never believe. And so I told her the story about it. And that night we had some neighbors come over, and they have two little girls. And these girls are like, the one girl sees, she goes, She goes, what is that? I was like, oh, it's a antique doll or whatever. She's like, that is scary. It's like a scary doll. So what I had was, I said, Jess, you got to start playing with them. So they got off the bus and Jess put it at the bus stop. And so it was sitting there at the bus stop waiting. She goes, And then like 2 days later, they came home and it was in their hallway. And she goes, And so the one kicked it. The youngest one, Coco, like kicked it and I don't know if she's still with us. I don't know if it,
but hey, it worked. It served its purpose.
It went on.
Dude, it served its purpose. Yeah. That's it. Now it's haunting her, hopefully, in her dreams. That's great. That's so funny because that was one of my favorite things that I think I've probably ever done to you, for sure.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Absolutely hilarious. Okay, here we go. Well, Joe, let's see how you feel. You're Italian?
Of course.
This comes to us from Danielle. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
No, stop with your stupid questions. We can't have a pineapple on top. You don't put a fruit on top of a cheese. Everybody knows this. Here's something else that annoys me. When people get the frutta di mare and they take the Parmesan cheese and they sprinkle it on top, you don't put cheese on seafood. You don't do it. Stupid.
You don't put cheese on seafood?
You don't put cheese on seafood. One exception you get is a shrimp Parmesan. That's it. I don't want cheese on your seafood. That's weird. And you don't put pineapple on a pizza, red sauce. Would you, if I gave you a bowl of spaghetti and meatballs, and I said, here, well, you want me to dump some pineapple in that? No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah. Not even Del Monte.
And the marinade sauce, it has no business. No business.
I like how like when a Mexican journalist is like, and we're going to
Puerto Rico.
Like, I wish I could do that with Korean stuff, but there's just like, no. No, it's like, it's kimchi. Kimchi?
Yeah, you just did it. No, I think for me it's not. But I will say this though, I will find that it has, the later the night is, the more acceptable it is, right? The more beverages you pop off, and people are like,
I'll eat
throw some pineapple on it. Yeah, of course it's pineapple. Right, yeah.
Give me a candy cotton wrapped burrito.
Yeah. Did you ever have that? What do they call that? They call it Hawaiian pizza, right? It's
Hawaiian pizza, yeah.
Yeah. Do you do that? No,
Never,
right?
never.
Not for you.
I'm greatest hits when it comes to pizza.
Yeah.
Give me pepperoni.
You love pep.
When it's fully loaded, it loses it doesn't taste like anything
If
when
I
it's
take
too
a
much.
bite and too much is falling off it, I hate that.
Yeah.
Even when I get like a vegetable slice, like I like a black olive and maybe a mushroom on it, but I still want just enough. I want a sprinkling.
Yeah.
I don't want a farm. I don't want a farm salad.
I love
how
an
about the
arugula pizza.
I
No?
literally was just going to shit on that, and you said it
No,
out loud.
you hate
the
it?
salad pies. Oh my god!
Because you're tricking yourself into like, well, I'm healthy. I'm getting my arugula.
I'm having a salad pizza.
A Caesar pizza.
Caesar pizza, same thing.
Pretty
Those for me
tasty.
are a little much. I mean, they just kind of fall like it doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
for me.
all the shit falls off.
Yeah. For me, I'm a classic. I do love an upside down pie, the one with the cheese is on the bottom and the sauce on top.
Greatest.
Yeah.
Okay, this is coming to us from Why God. I just had 3 windows pop up. Okay. This is coming to us from Sue. I struggle with planning ahead. How far ahead do you plan? If you could jump into the future 10 years, where do you see yourselves?
Oh, not 10 years. I don't jump 10 years. I don't plan 10 years out. Do you plan 10 years out?
No.
That's crazy. 10 minutes. I'll give you 10 months. I won't do 10 years. I probably take it by I should probably do better than this, but I take it by the year.
Okay.
I probably do like at the beginning of the year, end of the year, I'm like, what do I want to do this year? Kind of thing where I'll be like looking around that November through January timeframe and I'll be like, okay, what do I want to accomplish or do? I think the rest of the time I'm just kind of trying to survive. But of course we have long-term goals, want to make a film, want to do, those kind of things. But as far as like putting a plan, enacting a plan for that, I don't really do that.
Yeah, I think it's just,
I think you're more of a planner than me though.
I definitely plan ahead. And this is the problem. I plan so much ahead. I never have time to think about the past. Like when you're like, do you remember that time where I'm like, it's all a blur because I am always thinking about tomorrow, next week. What do I got to do for that? Always planning ahead. I have no recollection of the past. Absolutely. I'm one of the worst people to ask about. Do you remember that time?
Never.
No idea.
So you're a future
No
guy.
clue.
You're living in the future. You're like Doc Brown.
Always.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Marty.
Yeah.
Always about the future. But I think if you're struggling to plan, if you're struggling to think about how to plan ahead, I just write things down on a calendar. Like I'm like, by X, I'd like to have this accomplished. By Z, need to have that done. So, and constantly like creating meetings or things for myself, like noon, Wednesday, you're going to sit down, you will think about this, or who are you working with that you could generate ideas with,
I think organizing is a very smart tool to look. It's definitely better for me. And I think anybody would say it's better to plan than not. Flying by seat of the pants sometimes it can work out for you, but you're stumbling forward. It's nice to have a plan. If you want to be somebody that has a plan, I think that's an amazing tip you just gave. Get a blank calendar, fill it up with just random dates. People like, hey, by March 18th, I'm going to be doing this or whatever. I think that's a really cool idea.
Absolutely.
It's probably one of the best ideas you've ever shared with us here on Two Cool Moms. You got one, Stevie.
Thank you.
You got one, buddy. Great job. Great
Thank you. I
job.
did it. I did it. I'm cool.
Only episode 97.
I'm cool.
That's great, bud.
Okay. Here we go. Well, I think we did that. God, this keeps okay. This is coming to us from Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
My girl and I have a 2-year-old son, but have not had.
Keep it. That was an easy one.
Okay. My girl and I have had a 2-year-old son, but I have not had any intimacy since his birth. 2 years.
Oh.
She said she doesn't feel like herself. We're not married, but care for each other deeply. Now we're at a crossroads. Can I propose and risk not having intimacy forever? How can I approach the subject with her?
Well, it's definitely a talking to. It might be a very heavy talk that may require a third-party intervention. It might be a couples therapist session, because I do think I never did couples therapy, but I do think that sometimes you're going to need an out. You both have spoken your piece, right? You want some intimacy. She doesn't feel sexy, good enough as herself, okay? You need your intimacy. She doesn't want to provide it and does not feel in the space where she can. You both have valid points. So you need somebody who's an outside party that could sit down and help you work through the answer. Because you're going to just this is where we are in life. And there's nothing wrong with either perception.
Sure, yeah.
You want this, she wants that, and that's the way it is. So I think it would be smart to have outside counsel to help you work through it. And I don't think this is like you should start going to therapy. I mean, I think honestly, in a couple sessions where you're having honest conversations, you could figure something out. So you should just go and think about like, how do we get through this? That would be my thing. This again, unless you haven't talked about it yet. And you just said, well, she said this once and she said she doesn't feel like herself. Well, did you have an honest conversation about it? First of all, sit down and be like, look, this is being a deal breaker for me here. I would love to marry you, but I can't see myself being locked in an intimacy-less marriage for life. Let her know the gravity of the situation, and then maybe we could course correct a little.
I completely agree with you. You got to communicate, right? But I think also you can fall into the routine of like understanding, okay, it's all about the kid now, right? So why not surprise her with like a date night?
Yeah.
Like surprise her, take her out, make it romantic, wine and dine her like you're on your third date
100%.
and you're trying to impress her again.
Don't stop dating, right?
And spark that romance.
Yeah.
And then, get the chocolate-covered strawberries, pop a boner pill.
There you go.
Put some condoms on the table.
Perfect. And be like, your move.
Exactly. But let her know.
For sure.
Give her some Gatorade. Say, I don't want you cramping up.
It's game time.
This is going to be a session.
I do think that there is something to the spontaneity.
Yeah.
Of it all. But there is also a piece of get a calendar and mark March 18th as boom
It's
boom
go
day.
time.
There it is. Like, let's do it. Like, so, everybody could stretch out, hydrate, and be ready to go. You know what I mean? Could be a thing too. It might be something where you're like, hey, look, I want to have a date night. Let's do it. I'm looking for this. Like, if you give, and also, as always, like we always say, come with solutions. Don't be like, this is a problem. What do we do? Like, be like, hey, here's something I thought about that maybe we could do. What do you think? Start the conversation with solutions is always going to come off as a better conversation.
But what woman doesn't feel like
100%.
insecure after birth? They
sure.
all feel that way, and she hasn't probably gotten over it since.
100%.
So
I'm
make
still
her
trying to lose
feel,
a baby weight. Milana's 9.
make her feel sexy though. Make her feel good. Compliment her, and let her come home and see a treadmill.
Get the treadmill. Get each other for your anniversary. Let her get you a lawnmower. You get her a treadmill. It's
Exactly.
two great gifts that everybody appreciates.
Get to work. No carbs, no sugar for the next month.
Babe, we're doing Atkins. We
Trim it down.
yeah.
Okay, here we go with it.
Stevie's got another question for us, and again, thank you everybody who submitted. We love you. We appreciate you.
Yes, this is coming to us from Will. Will says, I have feelings for a friend. What can I do to see if the feeling is mutual without jeopardizing the friendship?
Don't do it, Will.
Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut. It's
Write it out.
It's not going to pan out. It's not going to pan out, Will.
Go to her laundry, get some panties, take a whiff.
Yep, we've already. I mean, that's the
That's
best
as close
advice.
as you get.
That's the best advice I think that you're going to get from us two, because it just ain't happening. We've spoken to said crush, and we're here to break it to you. But the question that we haven't read was, what do I do? I think Will likes me. So I don't know what to tell you at this point. I think you just got to chalk it up and move on to the next one.
It's interesting because it's like it's primarily guys in this situation.
100% guys.
And it's just like, have there
Well,
been...
it's not 100%. It's heavily guys. You're right.
Heavily guys.
Yeah.
Have there been warning flares? Have there been like...
Right. Read the room is number one.
Yeah, exactly.
Read the room. If she calls you your brother, you're out. Forget it. If she's like, you're like a brother, you're done. You're done. That's
You're
the nail
done.
in
You're
the coffin.
done.
You can't get past brother.
Here's what you need to know. This is only a crush due to proximity. You've got maybe 3 great friends. One of them's a cute girl.
Yeah.
And because you see her all the time, and that's the girl you're exposed to, that's your desert rose. You have no choice but to be attracted to her. What you need to do is expand your palette, get out there, meet more people, meet more girls. And I'm telling you, it's going to be on the back burner so quick. The minute you're out, you're having fun, you're at the book club or whatever, just meeting whoever you can. I think the more you give yourself the opportunity to meet different people, the less this will be there, because I think 90% of the times it's due to proximity.
It's a collection of it, yeah. I will say this too. I do think there's a way to approach it if you're going to approach it. And I don't think the way you approach it is, can I talk to you for a minute? Look, I've been having feelings about you, and I really think that there could be something there. No, I think the way you approach it is, be like, do you ever think about us dating? Literally something like that.
Right.
Something not heavy, entry, and take it step by step from there. If she's like, no, well, that'd be so weird. You'd be like, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Done. You're done. If she's like, oh, never thought about that, maybe. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. That might be a little weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If she says, "Wouldn't it back to you?" It's a conversation now. So now
Right.
you could go next step and be like, "Nah, I don't know. It'd be weird. I think you're pretty." You know, something like
Right,
that.
right, yeah.
Like if you approach it that way. But I think those grand gesture sit downs, I think there's a big failure right there. I don't think they ever really work out.
It becomes an interrogation.
It becomes a pressure situation that ruins the friendship. If she's able to brush it off and be like, "No, that would be weird," and it's done, you could remain friends easily. If you're like, "Every rose has its thorn," and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing, Will? I thought we were going to get pizza and put some pineapple on it." Like that was it. Like it's a totally different thing. So for me, I would wait. Like the skywriting. It was like, you know, that whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's.
That's so true, though. I think it always comes down to one of the first you said, read the room.
Yeah. Yeah. There'll be warning signs. You know,
Yeah.
there'll be signs, you know. So I think that's proceed with caution.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. This
All right,
last one.
One more. We got time for one more.
Comes to us from Jill. Hi, moms. You guys are the best. Thank you for the question, Jill. Thanks for including me in that. Usually it's Joe, you're the best. Hi, moms.
See? And the other guy's funny too.
And the other guy, yeah.
Hi, Joe, and the other guy.
I just finished a great series. Any recommendations on anything you guys happen to be watching right now?
You know what? I have so many. I'm so backlogged right now.
Yeah.
The number one thing that I need to watch now, which I haven't watched, and you're going to be mad at me, I think, because you've seen it, and everybody out there is going to be mad at me because I know everybody loves it, is the first season of White Lotus. I've never seen White Lotus.
Never seen it.
Oh, okay. So people are going to hate you too.
Okay.
People swear by it. They say it's phenomenal. So that's one I need to go watch. I'm backlogged. I'm not really watching anything now.
Right.
I'm not a big watcher. This is the thing. Bessie falls asleep early. I normally I'm on my phone, then I go play video games. If I'm in a video game,
Right.
I'm not. So right now I'm in a video game, so I'm not really watching anything.
Okay.
You know, and even on the road, I don't really do a lot of watching.
Right.
You know, I threw on a couple movies that I hadn't seen, but as far as series, no, I don't really have anything. I know what a lot of people are talking about, you know, but I haven't seen anything of note.
I still love the experience of going to movies. I love buying a ticket. I love supporting something. I love supporting somebody who's adventurous, like Steven Soderbergh. I just saw Presence, which is a horror film, and I saw the trailer. I was like, wow, that looks cool. And then I showed the trailer to my daughter, and she goes, oh, so this is a film about the perspective of a ghost, and the ghost is haunting the house. And I was like, wait, how did you pick that up? I didn't pick that up. Like, she's in 7th grade, and she knew it within 45 seconds, and I thought it was just kind of like cool place. And I was like, I'm a dipshit. Of course it is. So, but I saw the film. Phenomenal, and it's from the ghost perspective.
That's so fun.
And it can't communicate, but it's haunting a house, and then you realize why it's haunting a house. And I'd never seen a film like that.
Never seen anything like that.
I'll tell you, it was wild. You don't feel bored.
Great.
You feel like you're a fly on the wall. It was really, really cool. I love that. Nosferatu I saw, which was amazing.
People saying I look like the guy in Nosferatu.
You do not look like Nosferatu.
People like send me pictures and put Joe Sferrato.
No way.
Joe Sferrato.
No. No, you do not look like Nosferatu.
I have you fooled.
And then I just
like more, but I think it's safe to say you're more of a movie guy than a TV guy. I'm definitely more of a movie guy. Hands
love
down.
movies.
I'm
Yeah, I'd
more-
rather
if
see a
I have
movie
my
than a
chance to
series.
sit down, I'll watch a movie
because
sure.
I like knowing I'm committing to 90 minutes to 120 minutes,
100%.
and that's it. I'm knowing 10 hours.
What am I doing for 10 hours?
I'm just like,
It's too much. Yeah, I agree.
I'd rather do anything else.
I agree. I will say the last great series that I just saw, I just watched Penguin. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was phenomenal. It felt like a movie.
The
It was
actress
great.
was
so good.
I forget her name,
Yeah.
but holy
She was
shit,
great.
she was amazing.
Yeah, I think overall, I thought everything was great in it. Even the
Yeah.
kid was great. I think it was a really, really good, well done series. It was reminiscent to me of the first Daredevil. I think Daredevil was a great.
I never saw the first Daredevil, and it's coming back though, right?
The first series of Daredevil is arguably one of the best series that, in my opinion, that made TV. It has the best fight scene in episode 1 that I think that ever
Really?
was on television. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm not spoiling anything for you, but he fights down a hallway blind, and
Yeah.
it's one shot.
Really?
Yeah, and the camera's just going in and through rooms and just like watching him come down a hall. It's one of the best, coolest things
I'll have to check that out.
I've seen it copied multiple times. It's really good.
You know what's interesting? My kids and I, we tried to watch like Acolyte. They got 2 in. They're like, beat it. Andor was a little too
Yep,
adult
too much,
for them.
too
They're
adult.
like, sorry. They loved Mandalorian. Both my kids,
course, yep.
daughter and son. And then because of the last few Star Wars shows, they were hesitant on Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've watched
I
it.
didn't yet.
Awesome. Awesome.
Should I watch it with my kids? Because they've been asking me.
My kids
Okay.
love
I'll watch it
it.
with
And
them.
it was one of those things where it's like, okay, we're going to watch this together.
It's
then I
fun.
go on the road for 2 days. Oh, it's a blast.
Okay, great.
And
so you
and
go
my
on the
son's
road
like
and-
4 ahead of me. And I'm like, all right, I'll just catch up later. And I watched 2 more with him last night.
Okay.
So we got 2 more left. And my son and daughter both love it. They love that show. It is fun. There's no ego. There's no
Yeah.
there's no agenda to it. It's just a great
Great show.
story,
Yep,
and it's
yep.
kids having fun, and Jude Law's great. And it's kind of fun to see Jude Law play somebody who's a little more fun, I guess,
fun.
than what he's normally played in
heavy,
the past. I love it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll check that out. Well, there you go, Skeleton Crew. That's what the recommendation.
Skeleton
you
Crew,
make.
there you go.
There
yeah.
it is.
Or those great movies. Or Better Man, the Robin Williams one. I keep talking about it.
Yep.
I can't recommend that movie more highly. It is a blast. I think it's one of those films because it's like the Justin Timberlake of England. He left a popular boy band. He blew up. He's big everywhere, apparently, but the States. And this film came out, and the LA fires happened that weekend, and that, he's going to have this big premiere, and just like bad timing again. I could not recommend this film more highly. And I'm telling you, it's so fun. It's so heartfelt. There's a lot of great messaging behind it, and he's fully open and transparent about all his failures in his life, whatever. But man, it's an absolute blast. And if you want to know, just go Rock DJ scene from they put up the whole scene on YouTube. I think this is going to be one of those films that comes out on streaming and people discover and go,
We'll find it
holy
again. Yeah.
shit, it is awesome.
Ahead of the curve here on Two Cool Moms. That's what we do. Love it, baby.
That's why we're here.
Well, thank you for listening. Make sure that you come and see us on the road. I'm touring. You go to joegattoofficial.com to see me, and Stevie's on the road as well.
Punchup.live, Steve Byrne, that's where you catch me. And
And if you happen to be in New York
yeah,
and you want to come see us record live,
we're going to start doing some Two Cool Moms live shows.
Yeah, so make sure you follow us on Instagram at Two
Yeah.
Cool Moms Pod to keep up. It's starting in New York. We might go other places. Who knows?
Yeah, and my dad's riding his bike right now listening to us. So I want to say, hi, Dad, love you. Because he listens every time on his bike ride. So he
That's
listens
super
to Two
sweet.
Cool Moms.
Mine's
Yeah.
still dead. Thanks, guys.
These mommies love you, so show us some love.
Please rate us and review us. Follow us on all social media and subscribe to our YouTube.